Cicero. In defense of Sextus Roscius of Ameria. 1. Credo ego vos. They usually put a pronoun of themselves and then who they're talking about second. So I believe, you, Judices, which is the judges or the jury. So I believe you, jury, mirari, to be amazed or wondering. Quid sit, what it might be. Quad, we'll just say is that. What it might be that. Cum tot summi orators hominisqui. So why so many of the summi orators, these are the uppermost or the most eminent of the orators, and we have a superlative, nobilissimi homines, and the most noble of the men, which is more famous, sediant, that's in subjunctive because of this cum. So it's saying, you might be wondering, gentlemen, or of the jury, why were there so many great orators and so many very famous men, why are they sitting and I, potissimum, rather, sometimes it's preferably, but here it is rather, why rather, surrexim, why I have stood up, surrexim, first person. He's talking about himself here as a he qui, who, neither aetate, that's ablative, in age, nor in genio, nor in his inborn talents, nequi oratate sim, or neither in authority, so neither in his age or his talents or his authority can be compared cum his, with these qui sedent, who are sitting. And there's the comparandus, the gerund for the others are seating, and he doesn't have any of these abilities. Omnes high, which means all of these, quos, which, viditus, you see, this plural version of you see, adesse, means here at hand, in hac causa, in this case. So all these who you see here at hand in this case, injurium, the injustice, novo scellere, in this new crime, conflatum goes with injurium. So putant, all these who you see here, they think, oportere defendo, they ought to defend this injustice. Conflatem means it's blown up, inflated, or as newly, this novo scellere, this new crime has been invented. Ipsi, which is plural for themselves, to defend, on account of this iniquitatem, this injustice, non audent, they do not dare, on account of the iniquity of the times. That's a genitive. So all these who you see in this case, they think that this is an inflated case which is unjust of a new crime, and it ought to be defended, but they themselves, ipsi, on the iniquity of the times, or how dangerous it is in this time, they don't dare to do it themselves. Ita fit. So it's thus, fit means it happens. So it's thus so, ut, you might even say as soon as they are here. So as it happens, or so that they hear, propterea besides, propterea quad, because sequitur officium, because they are following their duty. That's why why they are here. Must be subjunctive from the ut. Taciant, but they are remaining silent. Taciant. Autem, moreover, or however. So moreover, they're silent. Id circo, that's an adverb for this reason. Quia is because, explaining the reason. Vitant, they want to avoid periculum, the danger. Part 2. Quid ergo, so what therefore, or why then? Ego, myself, audacissimus, superlative. Am I the most bold, ex omnibus for all of them? Minime, leastly, not at all. And basically means whether or tanto officio quam ceterae. Or am I so much more officious, more dutifully bound, quam, than ceterae, the rest? Nay istius quidam. We have nay quidam, not even. So we'll continue on. Nay istius quidam. So not even istius laudus of this praise. Istius is the demonstrative pronoun. It is just thus again, sum cupidius. So not even am I, Cupidus, desirous of this praise, ut alias iem praereptam, which means snatched away. Em and praereptum go together. So that I want this to be snatched away alias from others. This would be a plural ablative. So I'm not even so cupidous desirous of this praise that I would want this praise to be snatched away from others. Quae me, which things me, igitur therefore, res is matter or thing or circumstances. So therefore, which things were the circumstances? Praeter usually means besides, but or rather than, keteros the others, would impullet me. So which matters or circumstances would impel me in front of the others, so that the causam, genitive of sextus roscius, reciperam, that I would take reciperam, the cause of sextus roscius. Quia, because if he who dixesset had said this storm of those, quas vidites ad esse. So because if one of these people had said it, who you see vidites ad esse here in hand, in quibus summa auctoritas, in which the summa auctoritas, the highest authority, is, and amplitudo, this is fullness of dignity as well. If verbum de republica, so if a word, de is a preposition, concerning the republica, fecissit, if they had made, which would be any of these people you see here, if they had spoken up and said anything about the republic, this, quod in hac causa, fieri necessitas, what is necessary, fieri, to happen in this case, multo pluro dixesse, much more that he would have said, quam dixessit. So much more he would have said than what he actually said, putatoritor, is it would be thought. So if any of these people who were here, even them with all this authority and honours, if they had spoken a word about the republic, which would be necessary in this case, it would be seemed to have thought that they would have said more than actually said. And the daily dictionary word was praeter, a preposition. Besides, except contrary to, beyond, rank, in front of, before, or more than. Okay. 3. Ego, that's myself, I in the nominative. Autem, however, or moreover, so however I, if omnia, if everything, quae dicenda sunt, take that as things which must be said, that could be a periphrastic. So, however, I, if everything which had to be said, dixero, I said, libere, that's the adverb for freely. Nequam, another adverb. We can tell from the A in the middle it means by no means. If it was an I, it would be in vain. So, tamen, nevertheless, by no means a similar oratio mea, would my oration, would my speech, exeri, go out at qui and in vulgus, this is in the public, amongst the common people, poterit, would be able, the potero takes the infinitive, it would be able to enumerate, to spread out into the public. That's what he's saying. However, if I say anything which must be said, I can just say freely, because by no means will my oration exeri, go out similar, in a similar way into the common people and spread out. Deinde next. So the next point, we'll take quad as a quad clause or as a because. Ceterum of the rest of them. So this is the rest of the speakers. Nequi dictum obscurum potes est. So then, because with the rest of them, nequi, nothing is able, dictum obscura, to be, essays to be said in obscurity, propter nobilitum and amplitude. Because of their nobility and their honours and their amplitudum, their dignity. Nequi, and neither temere, rashly, dicto concede propter, again, on account of their aetum, their age, and prudentiam, which is usually wisdom, but can be experience. So then, because with the rest of them, nothing that they are able to say will be obscure, or because it will be spread about because of their nobility and their dignity. But neither can anything said rashly be conceded. It also means rashly, their rash speech on account of their age and their wisdom and experience. Ego, si quid. I, if there's anything, dixere, I shall have said liberis, which is a comparative, more freely. Vel, we'll take this as a preposition here. Either it shall be occultum, which is hidden or not well known, propterea, besides quod, because, so you can just leave out the besides. Either it shall be hidden away because, nondum, not yet, arcessi, I've been entered into, ad republica, the republic. This would be he wouldn't be well known in the republic yet. Vel, yeah, we'll take these both vels as prepositions and not as adverbs. So, or, poterit, it is able, ignosce, to be pardoned, adolesce mea, because of my adolescence, because I'm young. So, it either won't be well known, because he's not really in a very nobilitum and amplitudinum place in the republic, and he's just a young man. Temetsi, which just means though, non-modo, not only, ignoscendo, looks like a gerund. This ratio means it's the planning or the reasoning, ignoscendo, of the pardoning. So they're not only this reason for being forgiven, verum, but, etiam, even consuetudine, which is the customary habit, cognoscende, another one going with ignoscende, this is the pardon, and cognesce is looking as into an inquiry. Iam is now, de civitate, concerning the state, sublata est, has been removed. So basically this custom that they have of looking into cases and matters, it was very dangerous in the state, and even this has been taken away. So he's being brave where the really experienced people weren't brave enough to. Accidit illa quoque causa. So accidit just means it was added, illa causa, quoque means also. So added was also this reason, causa. Because from the rest, fortisan, perhaps, it's the adverb, because perhaps from the rest, ita, petitum sit, it was thus sought out, ut dicerent, so if they were sought out so that they could speak, that utrum vis, that either one that you want, basically, of either speaking or refusing, arbitrantur, they were thinking, posse, they were able, say themselves, to facere, to do this, keeping their duty, or their offices or their positions safe. So what it's basically saying, the others, perhaps if they were sought so they could speak, they were thinking they wanted to keep their official duties safe. A me, from me, or tam, however or moreover. So however by me, ei, that's they, plural, the demonstrative pronoun, they contenderanted, which they basically means they contended, they struggled to get it from him, quae, who apud me, who with me, both amitica and beneficius, which is their friendship and their good deeds. We've got another et here, posson, and so these people who are plural, ei, contenderanted, they were able with much dignitate, plurumum dignitate. So amongst him, Cicero himself, their friendships and their good deeds and their much dignitas, quorum, of which I, neither the beni volentiam, which means beno is good and volenti is their will, so with a goodwill erga me, towards me, ignore nec octaratem asperne, nec voluntatem, so debibam, here's their verb. So with their goodwill towards me, I ought not ignore, to ignore them, or neither aspernare, to spurn, or to spurn their authority, nor did he have the voluntar, neither did he will negligere, to deny them. So if you take all that in again, relying on their friendships, their good deeds, and much of their power and dignity, he didn't want to ignore them or spurn their authority, and indeed he had the will to basically voluntarily do it. He had the will to defend. Chapter 5. His decauses. For these causes, these reasons, ego I, huic causa patronus exstiti. Exstiti just means he stood out, or we have extant in English. For this causa, he will be the patronus. He will be the lawyer, basically, taking Roscio of AMERINO as his client. Non electus unus, not as the one elected or chosen, who maximo ingenio, who with the most inborn talent basically means, the maximo ingenio, we'll take that as an ablative. So he's the one not chosen because he had the greatest ability to speak, but relectus ex omnibus. See, the electus and the relictus are all going with ego in the nominative. Qui, who, minimo, in ablative or dativum, who with the minimo pericle or with the least danger, possem, I'm able, dicere, to speak. So I'm left over from everyone because there's little danger to me because he's not well known, and neither, uti, so that satis means satisfactory. Firmo presidio, this is a strong defense. Presidio can be a guard, but defensus, he'll make a strong defense of Sextus Roscius. Verum, but so he'll be satisfactorily done it, but ne omnino means not at all desertatus esset. So Roscius here becomes the nominative. So Sextus Roscius will be defended and not omnino, not altogether deserted. And Cicero is going to be his defense. And we're nearly done. Fortisant, perhaps, queritus, you are making an inquiry, you are asking. Qui, who is de terra? Who is this terra? Possibly is, what is this terra? Sit, what it may be. And quae, the thing which tanta formidio has so much dread. So what is this terra and this such dread? Quae, which tot so many, and talis, such types, viros of men, impediat. So what terror and what is this dread which impedes so many and such types of men? Quo minus pro capite. Pro capite means for a capital crime. Quo, so that less for the capital crime, and fortunus, which is all his property and his fortune. Ulterius means of another person. Quam ad modum consuerant, which means ad modum to the limit or fully. They customarily defend people in capital crimes and of their fortunes. Valent would mean they would want, dicere, to say or to plead this cause. So normally they customarily defend capital crimes and fortunes, and they want to plead in these things, but there's this terror and this formido, this dread. Quod, which things, relative pronoun stuff, ad hoc, still, vos, you, it's non mirum. It's not amazing that you ignore, that you are ignorant, ad hoc, still, and propterea quod, and because, and besides, because, you can just leave out the besides. So, of which things, it's not surprising that you're ignorant still, because consulto ab accusatoribus eus rei. Because in this, basically in this inquiry, in this council they're holding from the accusers of this matter, quae conflavit hoc judicium, of which in this judicium, in this trial basically, mentio facta non est, they haven't mentioned the facts. Conflavit again means they've inflated it up. So they haven't actually, these accusers haven't fully indicated what is the trial about. There we go for today.